Ladies and gentlemen, as we look back on the journey of this year, let us not merely recount its milestones but reflect upon the paths where we stumbled. There is no shame in mistakes. They are, after all, the signposts of learning. Yet, it is the nature of human frailty to repeat the errors of yesterday, not because we are incapable of change, but because we often fail to pause, to ponder, and to grow. The year behind us whispers lessons we must heed if the year ahead is to bring the transformation we so desire. The first great mistake of this past year lies in the neglect of time. We, as creatures of urgency, so often squander hours on the trivial while postponing the significant. Time is the silent architect of our lives, yet it neither pleads for our attention nor waits for our readiness. To delay our purpose is not merely to postpone achievement, but to rob ourselves of the fullness of living. The second mistake is the pursuit of perfection. How often have we waited for the perfect moment, the ideal opportunity, or the flawless plan? Perfection, while noble in aspiration, becomes a cruel master when it paralyzes us into inaction. The year 2024 may have taught us that progress, however imperfect, is infinitely better than pristine stagnation. Thirdly, there is the error of comparison. In an age where the lives of others are displayed like trophies, it is easy to forget that our worth is not measured by another's triumphs. Comparison blinds us to our unique path and robs us of gratitude. To envy another's garden is to neglect our own, leaving it barren of the fruits it might have borne. The fourth mistake is the undervaluation of relationships. In our haste to chase goals, how often have we neglected the bonds that nourish our souls? Relationships are the treasures of existence, yet they require tending. A year spent achieving without connecting is a year impoverished, for success unshared is success unfulfilled. Time is the one resource granted equally to all, yet it is also the most carelessly squandered. It moves with a quiet constancy, neither hurried by our urgency nor slowed by our hesitations. We live in its flow, and yet we treat it as though it is endless. The neglect of time is not merely a mistake but a tragedy, for it is through time that we build, create, and live the fullness of our lives. To neglect time is to fail to see its profound significance. We often mistake the passing of days for abundance, imagining that tomorrow will offer what today has withheld. But time, unlike wealth or material possessions, cannot be earned or reclaimed. Each moment that slips by is a fragment of life, irretrievably lost. Yet how many moments have been sacrificed to idle distractions, petty concerns, or sheer complacency? It is not the great crises that rob us of our lives, but the subtle erosion of time spent thoughtlessly, in pursuit of fleeting pleasures or immersed in trivialities that neither nourish the soul nor advance our purpose. This neglect is most evident in the way we delay the important for the convenient. We promise ourselves that we will begin tomorrow, that we will pursue our dreams when circumstances are perfect or when the stars align. And yet days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. The opportunities we imagined would wait for us fade, not because they vanished, but because we failed to grasp them in the moments they were within our reach. It is not time that betrays us, it is we who fail to honor it. There is a peculiar arrogance in the way we treat time. We act as though it is ours to command, as though it will always wait until we are ready. We fill our days with busyness, mistaking activity for accomplishment. But not all busyness is purposeful, and not all effort is fruitful. How often do we find ourselves rushing from one task to another, only to discover that we have achieved little of true value? This is the essence of time's neglect, not that we do nothing, but that we fill it with things that mean nothing. The neglect of time is also rooted in our inability to be fully present. In a world that glorifies multitasking, we are rarely where we are. Our minds wander to the past or the future, leaving the present moment unattended. We scroll through endless distractions, participate in half-hearted conversations, and approach our days with a fragmented focus. In doing so, we rob ourselves of the richness that only the present can offer. For it is in the present that life truly happens, not in the memories of yesterday or the dreams of tomorrow, but in the now, fleeting and fragile. Time neglected is life neglected. Every hour spent without purpose is an opportunity missed to grow, to learn, to love, or to create. Yet paradoxically, we often treat time as an enemy, something to be killed or passed. We speak of enduring time, of waiting for it to move faster, as though it were an inconvenience rather than the very fabric of our existence. This mindset betrays a profound misunderstanding of what time is. It is not a commodity to be used up, it is the canvas upon which we paint our lives. To neglect time is also to neglect ourselves. It is to forget that our days are numbered, and that within the finite span of our lives lies the potential for greatness, fulfillment, and joy. Each moment is a gift, not because it is guaranteed to bring happiness, but because it holds the possibility of becoming something meaningful. Time does not demand that we use it wisely, but it rewards those who do. To waste it is to squander the very essence of life, to leave untold stories unwritten and unfulfilled dreams abandoned. This neglect is not inevitable. It is a choice, born of habit and perspective. And while the clock moves forward relentlessly, it is never too late to change the way we approach it. The question is not how much time we have, but how we choose to spend it. Every moment, no matter how small, carries within it the seed of potential, a chance to learn, to grow, to connect, or to create. It is not the grand gestures or monumental achievements that define a life well lived, but the way we honor the minutes and hours that build it. The pursuit of perfection is a seductive ideal, one that promises excellence and fulfillment, but often leaves in its wake frustration, stagnation, and a lingering sense of inadequacy. It is a quest driven by the human desire for mastery and the yearning to create something flawless, yet it is also a burden weighing down our every effort with the fear of falling short. While striving for greatness can inspire growth, the relentless pursuit of perfection can trap us in a cycle of inaction, self-doubt, and dissatisfaction. In its purest form is unattainable. It is an illusion, a mirage that seems within reach but dissipates as we draw closer. This is not to diminish the importance of high standards or the value of ambition, but to recognize that life, in its complexity, does not lend itself to flawless outcomes. Nature itself is a testament to imperfection, with its uneven landscapes, asymmetrical patterns, and unpredictable rhythms. Yet it is precisely these imperfections that give it beauty, character, and meaning. To demand perfection is to demand something contrary to the very essence of existence. In our pursuit of perfection, we often become paralyzed by the fear of imperfection. We hesitate to begin, doubting whether our efforts will measure up to the impossible standards we set for ourselves. The blank page remains blank, the idea unspoken, the opportunity unexplored, all because we are waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect skill set. This fear of failure, rooted in the pursuit of perfection, stifles creativity and progress. It convinces us that if we cannot achieve perfection, it is better not to try at all. In doing so, it robs us of the chance to learn, to grow, and to discover what we are truly capable of. Perfectionism also distorts our view of success. It narrows our focus, making us blind to the incremental progress that defines genuine growth. We dismiss small victories as insignificant because they do not meet the lofty ideal we have envisioned. This unyielding standard breeds dissatisfaction, as no achievement ever feels complete or worthy. We become trapped in a perpetual cycle of striving and disappointment, unable to appreciate the journey because our eyes are fixed solely on an unattainable destination. The pursuit of perfection often isolates us. In our effort to present an unblemished image to the world, we hide our struggles, mistakes, and vulnerabilities. We create a facade of competence and control, fearing that any crack in this facade will expose us to judgment or rejection. Yet, it is through our imperfections that we connect with others. To be human is to be flawed, and it is in sharing these flaws that we find empathy, understanding, and genuine relationships. Perfectionism, in its relentless demand for flawlessness, denies us the depth and richness of authentic connection. There is also a profound cost to mental and emotional well-being. The pursuit of perfection demands relentless effort and uncompromising discipline, leaving little room for rest, joy, or self-compassion. It creates a constant state of tension as we push ourselves to meet standards that are not only unrealistic but often self-imposed. The weight of these expectations can lead to burnout, anxiety, and a pervasive sense of inadequacy. Rather than fostering fulfillment, perfectionism becomes a source of relentless pressure and inner turmoil. The pursuit of perfection is not inherently wrong, but its true danger lies in the rigidity with which it is pursued. When perfection becomes the only acceptable outcome, we lose sight of the value of imperfection. Mistakes are no longer seen as opportunities to learn, but as failures to be avoided at all costs. Effort is judged solely by its outcome, rather than its sincerity or intent. In this mindset, we devalue the process, the struggles, and the imperfections that make achievements meaningful. To understand the futility of the pursuit of perfection is not to abandon ambition, but to reframe it. It is to recognize that growth, creativity, and connection are born not from the absence of flaws, but from the courage to embrace them. Life is not a problem to be solved or a masterpiece to be perfected. It is a journey to be experienced. And in that journey, it is the imperfect moments, the ones filled with uncertainty, vulnerability, and raw effort, that often hold the greatest beauty and significance. Comparison is a natural inclination, a habit born of our instinct to evaluate ourselves within the context of others. It is neither inherently good nor evil, but its effects depend on the purpose it serves and the perspective we bring to it. When wielded without care, comparison becomes a thief, stealing joy, contentment, and self-worth, leaving behind a persistent dissatisfaction with life as it is. The error of comparison lies not merely in observing others, but in allowing those observations to dictate our sense of value and the trajectory of our lives. In its most destructive form, comparison reduces us to mere measures of success or failure against another's accomplishments. The world around us, with its relentless display of curated images and narratives, constantly invites us to measure ourselves against others. Their triumphs become our inadequacies, their beauty a reflection of our flaws, and their joy a reminder of what we lack. This skewed lens blinds us to the unique worth of our own journey, convincing us that what we have is somehow insufficient simply because it does not resemble the lives of others. Comparison distorts our perception of reality. What we see of others is often incomplete, a carefully selected portion of their lives that obscures their struggles, doubts, and failures. We compare our full story, complete with its unvarnished truths and imperfections, to the highlight reels of others. This is not a fair comparison, yet it is one we frequently make, forgetting that the images we envy are not a reflection of wholeness but a glimpse into moments that, like our own, are fleeting and imperfect. Comparison also fosters a sense of competition where none is needed. Life is not a race, nor is it a contest to be won by surpassing others. Yet when consumed by comparison, we view success as finite, as though another's gain diminishes our own potential. This mindset breeds resentment and insecurity, diverting our energy from meaningful pursuits to futile attempts to keep up or outdo. Instead of celebrating the achievements of others, we see them as threats, forgetting that each person's path is unique and cannot truly be compared to our own. The error of comparison extends beyond the individual, affecting the way we engage with the world and with one another. When we define ourselves by how we measure up, we begin to seek validation from external sources rather than from within. Our choices, actions, and even dreams are shaped by the expectations and standards of others rather than by our own values and aspirations. In this way, comparison robs us not only of contentment but of authenticity, as we mold ourselves to fit an image rather than pursuing what genuinely fulfills us. This misplaced focus on others distracts us from the blessings and opportunities that already exist in our lives. Gratitude becomes difficult when we are constantly looking outward, longing for what someone else has instead of appreciating what we have. We overlook the unique gifts, talents, and experiences that make our journey valuable because we are too busy envying the gifts of others. In doing so, we risk squandering the potential that lies within us, leaving our own garden untended while we admire another's. Comparison often leads to feelings of unworthiness and despair. When we fixate on the successes of others, we begin to question our own abilities and significance. We see their accomplishments as evidence of our inadequacy, their happiness as proof of our failure. This relentless self-criticism erodes confidence, making it harder to take risks, embrace challenges, or pursue our dreams. It creates a cycle of negativity, where the more we compare, the less capable we feel, and the less capable we feel, the more we compare. Yet the error of comparison does not lie in noticing differences, for diversity is an inherent and beautiful part of life. The error lies in attaching value to those differences in a way that diminishes ourselves or others. Each life is its own story, with its own challenges, victories, and purpose. To compare them is to miss the essence of what makes each journey unique. Just as the sun and the moon each shine in their time, so too do we each have moments of brilliance that are no less valuable because they do not look the same. To free ourselves from the error of comparison is not to stop observing others, but to change the way we interpret what we see. It is to shift our focus from envy to inspiration, from judgment to appreciation, and from competition to celebration. By doing so, we not only reclaim our sense of worth, but also create space for gratitude, authenticity, and joy to flourish in our lives. Relationships are the invisible threads that weave together the fabric of our lives, yet they are often the most overlooked and undervalued aspects of existence. In the haste to chase ambitions, accumulate achievements, or secure material comforts, we can neglect the bonds that provide us with meaning, support, and a sense of belonging. The undervaluation of relationships is not simply a personal failing but a societal tendency, driven by a culture that often prioritizes individual success over communal well-being and productivity over connection. To undervalue relationships is to forget the profound role they play in shaping who we are. From our earliest days, our identity is formed through the relationships we cultivate with family, friends, mentors, and even adversaries. These connections provide a mirror through which we see ourselves, offering validation, perspective, and sometimes necessary confrontation. When we neglect these bonds, we risk losing touch with the parts of ourselves that are revealed and refined through interaction with others. This neglect often begins subtly. We tell ourselves we are too busy, that there will always be time to nurture relationships once the current demands on our time have subsided. But life has a way of filling any perceived void with new responsibilities and distractions. As days turn into months and months into years, relationships left unattended can wither. The shared moments of laughter, the deep conversations, and even the quiet companionship that once sustained us fade into distant memories. By the time we realize what we have lost, it can be too late to reclaim it. The undervaluation of relationships also stems from a misunderstanding of their true nature. In a world that increasingly quantifies worth, whether in terms of financial success, social media influence, or professional achievement, relationships can be seen as secondary, an intangible and immeasurable aspect of life. But the value of relationships lies not in their ability to produce measurable outcomes, but in the profound sense of connection, purpose, and joy they bring. They are not transactions to be balanced, but gifts to be cherished. When relationships are undervalued, they often become transactional, reduced to what they can provide rather than what they represent. Friendships are maintained only when convenient, family bonds are set aside for more pressing concerns, and love is approached with an expectation of reciprocity rather than a desire to give freely. This transactional mindset diminishes the depth and richness of relationships, turning them into shallow exchanges rather than meaningful connections. But It is in giving of ourselves without expectation that relationships truly flourish, and when this is forgotten, the bonds that tie us to others begin to fray. The undervaluation of relationships is not without consequences. Isolation and loneliness, increasingly prevalent in modern society, are direct results of this neglect. Humans are inherently social beings, and the absence of genuine connection leaves a void that cannot be filled by material wealth or individual achievement. The effects of this void are not merely emotional but physical, as studies have shown the profound impact of relationships on health and well-being. A life without connection is not only less joyful but less whole, as we miss out on the shared experiences that make life rich and meaningful. Undervaluing relationships can lead to a loss of perspective. It is through relationships that we are often challenged, inspired, and reminded of our shared humanity. They provide a context in which we can grow, learn, and confront our own shortcomings. Without these connections, we risk becoming insular, consumed by our own ambitions or struggles, and detached from the broader world. Relationships keep us grounded, reminding us that we are part of something greater than ourselves. There is also a subtle arrogance in undervaluing relationships, as though we can navigate life's complexities alone. This illusion of self-sufficiency denies the reality that no achievement, no matter how grand, is accomplished in isolation. Behind every success story are the unseen hands of support, encouragement, and collaboration. To undervalue relationships is to ignore the very foundation upon which our lives are built, and in doing so, we undermine our own potential for growth and fulfillment. Relationships are the essence of what it means to be human. They are not distractions from life's purpose, but an integral part of it. To undervalue them is to lose sight of this truth, to prioritize fleeting pursuits over lasting connections. But the beauty of relationships lies in their resilience. Even when neglected, they often have the capacity to be rekindled, strengthened, and deepened. What they require is not perfection but presence, not grand gestures but genuine care. By valuing relationships, we enrich not only our own lives, but the lives of those we are privileged to know. Gratitude is a force both humble and profound, often overlooked in its simplicity yet transformative in its essence. It is not merely an act of politeness or a momentary feeling of thanks, but a deep acknowledgement of the goodness that surrounds us, even in the midst of life's challenges. Gratitude has the power to shift our perspective, enrich our relationships, and bring a sense of meaning and peace to our lives. Its strength lies in its ability to ground us in the present and remind us of the abundance that already exists. In a world that constantly encourages striving for more success, more possessions, more recognition, gratitude invites us to pause and appreciate what we already have. It allows us to see value in the ordinary, to find beauty in the mundane, and to recognize that contentment does not lie in the pursuit of what is missing, but in the appreciation of what is present. Gratitude transforms scarcity into sufficiency, reminding us that life's blessings are not only found in grand achievements or material wealth, but in simple joys and meaningful connections. Gratitude has the remarkable ability to soften the sharp edges of adversity. Life is fraught with trials and uncertainties, and it is easy to be consumed by what is lost or lacking. Yet, gratitude provides a lens through which we can view even the most difficult circumstances with a sense of hope and perspective. It does not deny the reality of pain or hardship, but allows us to find light within the darkness. By focusing on what remains rather than what is absent, gratitude fosters resilience, enabling us to navigate life's challenges with grace and courage. Gratitude has the remarkable ability to soften the sharp edges of adversity. Life is fraught with trials and uncertainties, and it is easy to be consumed by what is lost or lacking. Yet gratitude provides a lens through which we can view even the most difficult circumstances with a sense of hope and perspective. It does not deny the reality of pain or hardship, but allows us to find light within the darkness. By focusing on what remains rather than what is absent, gratitude fosters resilience, enabling us to navigate life's challenges with grace and courage. But Gratitude also enhances our relationships, serving as a bridge that connects us to others. When we express gratitude, we affirm the value of those around us, strengthening bonds and fostering mutual respect and appreciation. A simple thank you can transform an interaction, turning a momentary exchange into a meaningful connection. Gratitude reminds us that we are not isolated beings, but part of a larger web of kindness, generosity, and support. It encourages us to recognize the efforts of others and to reciprocate with acts of kindness, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond ourselves. The power of gratitude lies not only in its outward expression, but also in its inward transformation. Cultivating a grateful heart changes the way we see the world and ourselves. It shifts our focus from what is missing to what is present, from lack to abundance, and from entitlement to humility. Gratitude teaches us to approach life with a sense of wonder and appreciation, recognizing that every moment is a gift and every breath an opportunity. It anchors us in the present, freeing us from the regrets of the past and the anxieties of the future. Practicing gratitude requires intentionality and mindfulness. It is not always easy to feel grateful, especially when faced with disappointment or struggle. Yet, gratitude is not dependent on circumstances. It is a choice to see the good amidst the challenges. It begins with small acts, pausing to notice the warmth of the sun, the kindness of a stranger, or the support of a friend. Over time, these moments of gratitude accumulate, shaping our outlook and infusing our lives with a sense of richness and purpose. Gratitude also has a profound impact on our mental and emotional well-being. Numerous studies have shown that individuals who regularly practice gratitude experience greater happiness, reduced stress, and improved overall health. Gratitude fosters a sense of optimism, helping us to see possibilities rather than limitations. It cultivates inner peace, as we learn to accept and appreciate life as it is rather than constantly longing for something more. By grounding us in the present and connecting us to others, gratitude creates a sense of belonging and fulfillment that transcends external circumstances. At its core, gratitude is a posture of the heart, a way of being that shapes how we approach life. It reminds us that we are not entitled to the blessings we receive, but privileged to experience them. Gratitude humbles us, teaching us to recognize the many factors often beyond our control that contribute to our well-being and success. It inspires us to give back, to share our blessings with others, and to approach life with a spirit of generosity and kindness. The power of gratitude lies in its simplicity and its universality. It is accessible to all, regardless of age, status, or circumstance. It requires no special tools or resources, only a willingness to pause, reflect, and appreciate. Gratitude is a practice that can be cultivated daily, transforming even the most ordinary moments into opportunities for joy and connection. In a world that often emphasizes what we lack, gratitude reminds us of what we have, teaching us that true wealth is found not in possessions but in perspective. Progress is an essential force in the story of humanity, a driving need that propels individuals and societies forward. It is not merely a desire for change, but a fundamental aspect of our nature, an impulse that fuels our pursuit of knowledge, improvement, and innovation. The need for progress is not born of dissatisfaction with the present alone, but of the recognition that growth and advancement are vital to achieving our potential. To remain stagnant is to deny the very essence of what it means to be human, to strive, to adapt, and to create. The need for progress stems from an awareness that perfection is unattainable yet worth pursuing. Each step forward brings us closer to a more refined version of ourselves and our world, even if the ultimate goal remains just out of reach. This pursuit gives life its dynamic energy, transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary through exploration and effort. Without progress, life becomes monotonous, lacking the challenges and triumphs that provide meaning and purpose. The desire for progress is what inspires artists to create, scientists to discover, and communities to thrive. Progress is not confined to monumental achievements or groundbreaking inventions. It is present in the quiet, persistent efforts of individuals seeking to better themselves and their surroundings. It can be as small as learning a new skill, forming a new habit, or mending a broken relationship. These incremental changes, though seemingly insignificant in isolation, contribute to a larger narrative of growth and transformation. Progress, then, is not an event but a process, a journey that unfolds one step at a time. The need for progress also arises from the challenges and imperfections inherent in life. Obstacles and difficulties serve as catalysts, prompting us to seek solutions and to improve our circumstances. Progress is a response to the recognition that there is always room for betterment, whether in the realms of technology, ethics, or human connection. It is a testament to our resilience and creativity, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, we possess the capacity to overcome and to build anew. Progress is not without its complexities and risks. The pursuit of advancement must be tempered by wisdom and responsibility, for progress made without consideration of its consequences can lead to harm rather than benefit. True progress is not merely about moving forward, but about moving forward with purpose and direction. It requires discernment to distinguish between changes that enhance and those that detract, between innovations that empower and those that exploit. Progress is most meaningful when it aligns with values that promote the common good and the flourishing of all. The need for progress also has a communal dimension, as it often relies on collaboration and shared vision. While individual effort is crucial, the most significant advancements are achieved when people come together, pooling their talents, perspectives, and resources. Progress thrives in an environment of cooperation and mutual respect, where ideas can be exchanged and refined through collective effort. This interconnectedness highlights the importance of fostering relationships and building communities that support and encourage growth. Progress challenges us to confront our limitations, to question assumptions, and to push beyond the boundaries of what is known and comfortable. It is an act of courage requiring us to step into the unknown with hope and determination. Yet it also demands humility, as progress often reveals the vastness of what we do not yet understand. It is in this balance of ambition and humility that progress finds its greatest strength, driving us to pursue excellence while remaining open to learning and adaptation. The need for progress is deeply rooted in the human spirit, reflecting our innate curiosity and aspiration. It is a force that bridges generations, as each step forward builds upon the foundations laid by those who came before. Progress is not merely about achieving specific goals, but about cultivating a mindset of growth and possibility. It reminds us that we are part of an ongoing story, one in which each individual has the power to contribute and to shape the future. Progress, by its nature, is both a challenge and a gift. It requires effort, sacrifice, and persistence, yet it offers rewards that far outweigh its demands. The journey of progress is not always smooth or straightforward. It is marked by setbacks, failures, and moments of doubt. Yet these very challenges are what make progress meaningful, for they test our resolve and strengthen our character. Progress teaches us to appreciate the journey as much as the destination, to find fulfillment not only in what we achieve but in the process of striving and growing. The need for progress reflects a profound truth about life, that it is not static but dynamic, not fixed but evolving. Progress reminds us that we are not bound by the limitations of the present, but are capable of envisioning and creating a better future. It invites us to embrace change, to learn from the past, and to approach the unknown with curiosity and courage. Through progress, we affirm our humanity and our hope, weaving a tapestry of growth, discovery, and endless possibility. Hope is a quiet but powerful force, a light that shines brightest when darkness surrounds us. It is not a mere wish or fleeting desire, but a steadfast belief that things can improve, that tomorrow holds potential, and that challenges can be overcome. It is the fuel that keeps us going when the road is long and the journey uncertain. Hope is not an abstract idea, but a tangible strength that guides us through difficult times, providing the courage to persevere even when everything around us seems bleak. Hope and resolve are closely intertwined, for hope is not passive. It does not merely wait for things to change. It compels us to act, to push forward, to engage with the world in a meaningful way. Resolve is the action that springs from hope. It is the determination to see things through, to hold fast to the belief that improvement is possible, and to take the necessary steps, no matter how small, to move toward a better future. Resolve without hope can be mechanical, born out of obligation rather than belief. But when hope and resolve come together, they form an unstoppable combination, one that not only drives us forward but empowers us to face adversity with strength and resilience. Hope, at its core, is a choice. It is the decision to see possibility even in the midst of hardship. It is easy to succumb to despair, to believe that nothing will ever improve, that our efforts are futile, and that we are alone in our struggles. Yet hope challenges this narrative, urging us to look beyond the present circumstances and envision a brighter future. It encourages us to believe that change is within our reach, that we are capable of growth, and that there is always something to be learned, even in the darkest moments. But hope alone is not enough. It requires action, it requires resolve. Without resolve, hope remains a passive feeling, a wish unfulfilled. Resolve transforms hope into tangible results, guiding us to take the steps necessary to manifest change in our lives. It is not enough to hope for a better future, we must have the resolve to work toward it. Whether that means continuing to show up each day, making hard decisions, or taking risks, resolve is the force that propels us into action. It is the steady hand that keeps us focused and determined when the going gets tough. The world often tests our resolve. Life is filled with setbacks, obstacles, and moments of doubt. It can be tempting to give in to the belief that nothing will ever change or that our efforts are in vain. But this is where hope becomes truly powerful. It reminds us that failure is not the end, but merely a part of the process. Hope encourages us to see setbacks as opportunities to learn, to grow, and to strengthen our resolve. It teaches us that challenges are not barriers but stepping stones on the path to success. Hope and resolve also have the power to inspire others. When we hold fast to hope, even in the face of adversity, we become beacons of light for those around us. Our determination to keep moving forward, despite challenges, can serve as a source of strength for others who may be struggling with their own difficulties. In this way, hope and resolve are not only personal qualities but communal ones. They have the power to create ripples of positivity and resilience, encouraging others to find their own hope and strengthen their resolve. In moments of uncertainty, when the future seems unclear and the path forward is difficult to discern, hope and resolve provide us with the clarity we need. Hope helps us keep our eyes on the horizon, while resolve helps us take the next step, no matter how unsure we may feel. Together, they allow us to navigate the unknown with confidence and courage, knowing that no matter how long the journey may be, the destination is worth striving for. Hope and resolve are also a reminder of the power of the human spirit. They affirm that we are capable of far more than we often realize, that even in the face of adversity, we have the strength to keep moving forward. They teach us that resilience is not about avoiding hardship, but about embracing it, learning from it, and using it to fuel our growth. They remind us that no matter what life throws our way, we always have the power to choose hope and resolve, to take that next step, to believe that things can improve, and to remain steadfast in our pursuit of a better future.